Welcome back to Be Rich. I have with me Sashwath from his university, and I am here at Chennai. We are doing this on a weekend on a Sunday so that we can be more relaxed and discuss a stock and a stock of substance. What we want to do in this series is pick three stocks weekly and discuss it threadbare. And what we hope to do is from November 7th, we will have regular articles come up on the Substack. Shashwat has been settling down in university, so we have not been able to write for a couple of months. But the articles we write will not be on the stocks that we cover on this channel. And this is basically to analyze stocks. And we pick something which we don't buy, which we like the stock, but we won't buy the stock. And basically, we look at reasons at the end of the day why we will not buy that stock. And there will be stocks which we think are screaming value, but does not mean you have to buy them. If you do not know about stocks, you are better off owning an index fund. It is safer. If you want to buy the stock, better to take advice from somebody who is qualified on the quantity and on the whether to buy the stock. Stock markets are extremely risky and volatile. The value of stock can go up and down. So be careful before you decide to buy. Do your homework. Okay, Shashwat, what do you have today for us?
Today, I thought we'd talk about Toyota. Toyota is a company which is listed all across the world, but I'm specifically talking about Toyota Motor Corporation in the Japanese stock exchange. So I thought we could break it down, maybe examine its history, where it's currently trading at, whether it's something value investors can consider adding to their portfolio, or whether they should wait for another opportunity.
Toyota is also available in the US markets as an American depository receipt, and those who cannot buy it in the Japanese market can also look at the ADR.
Yeah. So you can start off with the history of Toyota and what you recall about it.
I think I do not know very much about the history of Toyota. As much as I know the history of Sony. Sony I know with great depth. But one thing I know for sure, Toyota is a family controlled company. It's a very difficult thing for a family to control a company in Japan because of the inheritance tax and the way it is structured. So it is very difficult for them to control a company from father to son, son to grandfather. Toyota is a company that evolved around World War II, immediately after World War II. It's not a car company. Everybody thinks it's a car company. It is not only a car company. If I'm right, it has a huge supermarket chain in Japan. It makes a lot of industrial ancillary products. It also makes textile machinery products. They also make cars. And
Yes.
as a car company, they also own Daihatsu, which is a very famous Japanese company. They also make, I think it's called Hino, but I'm not sure of the name, but they have
Hino
a very big
Motors.
Hino Motors. They have a big commercial vehicle portfolio. The Toyota is known for quality. So whatever is known today as the Total Quality Management TQM comes from Toyota and Japan. The Deming Prize, which is named after Charles Deming, an American engineer, he perfected it all in the Japanese company. Also, Japan, Toyota is known for two systems in the world and is very open. One is what is called as Kaizen, the Japanese method for continuous improvement. You continuously improve till you get a new product. That's what, and they do things in incremental stuff. Toyota is not known for dramatically changing position from one to another, and they move things very slowly. But they dominate the car market the worldwide, and they became the largest car company in the United States, beating Ford and GM.
Yes.
And
Uh,
they are also very famous for the just-in-time technology, where they have products just coming in as they require it. So it cuts inventory cost. They are very, very good at managing costs, and they are super efficient. Let me tell you a story. When they launched their first vehicle in India, which was outrageously successful, Qualis, it's a product which was one generation behind others. A lot of people thought, why is Toyota launching a product which is one generation behind? A soapbox method, whereas the Innova had already come worldwide. But they knew the market, they launched this product, It was a wildly successful product. I was a owner of Qualis and I had to sell my Qualis for some reason when Sashwath was a year or two old. And I was disappointed with the shape of the Innova when it came originally, though I have an Innova Krista now. But it was an amazing car. And nobody knew why they suddenly pulled it out. Then they came up with the Innova, which absolutely dominates its segment. There is no competition. In the high-end SUV, Innova has no competition. Even today, in a market where vehicle market is struggling, they have come up with the Innova has a waiting time, and they have the Innova Hybrid, which also we have one vehicle, which is doing extremely well in the market. There's a waiting list even today in India. So they are masters, and they have now got an agreement with Suzuki where they jointly develop platforms on which they develop cars. And Maruti's, not Maruti, it's actually Suzuki's factory in Gujarat makes lot of products which are sold both in the Maruti badge as well as in the Toyota badge. Let me tell you, Toyota products are known for quality. They don't break down, and you can drive them forever.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous for quality. This is what I know about Toyota. Can you add some more?
Right. So I think you covered most of it, but I'll just add a few points here and there to flesh out what you had said. The history of Toyota is actually, like you said, during World War II, and it began officially in September of 1933 when they had an automatic loom which they were producing. And this loom then burgeoned into a textile manufacturing company. And in 1934, they started producing car engines as well. And they produced something known as a Type A engine. And then the following year, it was used in a Model A1 automobile and G1 truck. So since then, they haven't looked back, of course. They are still active in the textile industry. They still continue to produce looms and they produce sewing machines, which are bought all over the world. The company's name was changed to the surname of the founder Toyoda Sakichi. He's the founder of Toyota, and the name was changed to that, which is why we see the name Toyota today. And during the Pacific War, the company produced trucks for the Imperial Japanese Army, and they were used extensively during the war. So this is some added information. As well as you talked about Suzuki Motor Corporation, they do have an agreement with them where they have a collaborative industrial and commercial plant where they exchanged 5% of shares with each other. So Toyota has some holding in Suzuki and Suzuki has some holding in Toyota. So all these things said, I think we can move over to the analysis of their financials to see whether it's something worth looking into. So first thing, or the I took a look at their earnings growth and I took a look at their balance sheet. So their price to earnings is 7.29. Their dividend yield is 2.87% as of the time of recording this video. So from the looks of it, it seems to be undervalued in terms of the PE metric, as most Japanese stocks are. But going deeper into their balance sheet, what concerns me currently is that they have a lot of liabilities and they don't have the cash to be able to pay it back in case they need to. That is, their liquidity ratios they're okay, they're moderate, but they're not very strong. And this concerns me about Toyota because their net debt is 27.15 trillion yen as of the fourth quarter of the financial year 23. So it's a lot of debt which they're holding on their company, and their current ratio stands at 1.19 and their quick ratio is 1.03. These aren't very robust numbers. So what do you think about this?
They're not very bad numbers either. And Toyota has a lot of unrelated investments.
Okay.
They can shed some unrelated investments and bring it down very quickly. So I am not too concerned about it. I'm concerned with another thing that Toyota has, which is a big problem in Toyota. The bigger problem in Toyota is what will happen. They are a company which continuously grow incrementally in the sense that their product portfolio grows incrementally. They are not used to tectonic shifts, right?
Yeah.
So, whereas Tesla is a company that has made a tectonic shift, BYD is a Chinese company that has made tectonic shift.
Okay.
And in 2030, Europe is going to go completely electric.
Okay.
Most of Europe will be electric. It will be more than 75% car will be electric. Toyota has been trying to make it very difficult for itself by concentrating on hydrogen cells and hydrogen cars. I do not know whether their hydrogen cars will succeed. I don't think so. If you remember in the history of a company which I liked with the Sony VHS and Sony Betamax, Betamax was the better product, but
Yeah.
VHS became the standard. So I don't think after Tesla and BYD, Toyota can make hydrogen cars and sell it all over the world. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Yesterday, when I looked at some numbers, they have an electric car. Suzuki and them are going to launch an electric car very soon, but it will be only one model. So, and it is a very pricey model. So,
Okay.
I do not know how is their electric strategy. Okay, they have been talking about a solid state battery for years, but there has been no practical demonstration of a car running on a solid state battery, which is available.
Yeah.
A car is a mechanical engineering product, but the car is going to become a chemical engineering product now. It all is the strength of the battery and the potential of the battery will decide how successful your car is. So, from mechanical engineering, it's going to become chemical engineering. I do not know how strong Toyota's battery is going to be. That is the biggest point. If they are not able to make the transition from mechanical to chemical smoothly in their Kaizen formula, now the Kaizen is encoded into their DNA,
Yeah.
right? They're not going to make radical shifts. It's not possible.
Yeah.
But they have said that they will stop making IC engines. They will, most of their products will become hybrid by 25. Can they move from hybrid to electric in time? Is a big question I would like to ask.
And I have
That is the problem.
one more point adding to that. So a company which is facing such tectonic shifts obviously means that their capex is going to be at a higher level for the foreseeable future, which tells me that we are not going to see much in the way of free cash flow from Toyota. Because even if you look at the past 5 years as a company, apart from 2021, they didn't have positive free cash flow all the way from 2019 to 2023. So if I take a closer look at their cash flow statements, they are raising money every year through debt to increase their capex because they're competing with, like you said, a Tesla or another EV players, which tells me that this company already, which is levered, I mean, right now it's levered to level that's still comfortable. But if it goes beyond the current leverage where it's at, and they don't have enough cash generating from its own company, in order to be able to compete with these guys, they have to take on more debt. How comfortable would you be with that?
See, I'll tell you, we are looking at their debt from the conventional lens of India and America.
Okay.
You have to look at it a conventional lens of from Japan.
Okay.
For the last 20 years, debt is free for them.
Yeah.
Toyota is Japan, Japan is Toyota.
Okay.
So they have got debt at almost 0% or zero point 0.1, zero point 0.2, like Buffett's famous bet. If they had to sell equity or sell debt, they would have taken debt because there is a cost to their equity, but there is no cost to their debt.
Okay.
Even today,
Yeah.
Japanese debt is at zero point 0.1, and they are not in a position to take it to 0.25, right?
So then what you're
Like,
saying is that if their debt is cheap to get and their ROIC or
the-
their return on invested capital is 9%, so they're making
exactly.
9% for free.
Yes. Because if I had bought equity, I'm paying a cost.
3% on dividends, yes.
Yes. So I'm generating 3% only on dividends plus retained cash flow.
Yeah. So,
So
so the cost of equity would have been the 3% dividend which they would have had to pay out for the
minimum,
equity.
that is the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Okay. The EPS is the actual cost.
Yes.
They are retaining some cost. They are retaining something, right?
Yeah.
So what is the EPS?
So the EPS for the first quarter of 2024, the basic non-diluted EPS is 98.9 for the first quarter of 2024. Or if you want the annual EPS of the financial year 23, the annual EPS is 365.94 yen.
And what is the cost of the stock?
Cost of the stock is 2,615 yen as we speak today.
So the dividend will be the correct price. So their cost of equity is 3%
Yeah.
and cost of debt is 0.25.
Yeah.
So return on invested capital is almost in double digit.
Yes.
So for a grade A company with a lot of assets, he's borrowing cheap in Japan and building assets all over the world. His assets are not built in Japan.
Yes.
He's building a new plant in
So
Maharashtra.
Standard and Poor's and Moody's, all of them have given Toyota A plus and A1 rating.
Yeah, yeah, better than India's rating.
Yes, and Japanese rating agencies have given them AAA.
Yeah, so
Yes, but the only thing is because we like to prefer companies with no debt. This
no,
seems
no, that is for American and Indian companies.
where
This
there is
is
a
where
cost of
macro,
money
yes, where there's no cost of money. Why should I worry? And Toyota earns its money in dollars.
and rupees and other
In
currencies.
okay, in currencies which has value, the yen is continuously depreciating.
Yeah,
It's the polar opposite of what happened to Syntex or Reliance Infrastructure.
yeah,
So basically, the cost at the currency at which I'm borrowing is depreciating all the time,
yeah.
and the currency in which I am earning is appreciating all the time.
Okay, then let me ask you this. The EPS over from 2017 till today has compounded at a rate of 13%, and this EPS is in yen. So then my question is, tomorrow, if the yen depreciates by, I don't know, let's say 4% year on year against the dollar.
Okay, you keep it at 8%, 7% in dollars,
Okay,
but my cost of money is negative. No,
yes.
see, he's got a perfect balance, boss. He's borrowing in a currency which needs to depreciate,
But what about the stock price depreciating against the yen is my question.
but you buy it in ADR. No,
But isn't the
you are.
ADR linked to the cost of the stock in yen?
It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter because at one time the market will discover value. No, is a
Oh,
stock which is a compounding at 13% in yen.
yeah.
But if that means let us assume the yen is depreciating 30% every year.
Okay.
It's not depreciating at 20-30% a year.
No, it's not.
Okay, it's not. But let
Yeah.
us assume 10% depreciation. Even then, it is compounding at 10% in USD terms.
Over the past 5 years, the yen has gone down by 29% against the dollar.
30%, you discount 30% of 13%.
Yeah.
In dollar terms, 8% it is grown. Which company is growing its earnings at 8%? You have to worry if the yen gets to 83. I don't see it happening anytime soon.
What do you mean by the yen gets to 83?
It's at nearly 160, it doubles in value.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying that
I,
if the yen goes up in value, then we have reason to worry.
yes, otherwise, this is a brilliant strategy. You studied Unilever and explained that to me, you remember?
Yes. No, but I don't understand why you're saying it's bad for us if the yen appreciates in value.
That means the cost of bring in Irving Fisher, the value of debt goes up and the value of the earning comes down.
Ah, okay. But then if they fix the cost of debt, like what Warren Buffett did, then we don't have a problem, right?
Not a problem, but it is not going to happen. I'm telling you what is the danger since you are bringing up debt. I'm telling you
Yeah.
what is the danger. If the yen rallies, Toyota is in trouble.
Okay. So let me sum it up for our viewers.
No, no,
What our
but what do you
takeaway?
think of what do you? This is my opinion. You
Okay.
have to. You need. That's how you should
See,
look at.
I
I
agree
know.
with you, and I think that from the angle of trying to make a play on free money. So I also did the calculations for the depreciation. So if you have a 30% depreciation in 5 years, then the depreciation per year is actually about 6.88%.
Hmm.
So you have a positive number of 13% increasing your EPS and you have a 7% decline. Then you average out at about a 7% gain, which I think is
That's a
okay.
good. It is a very
Yeah,
good gain, no?
sure.
Which
Yeah.
the car company is gaining at 7% a year. The problem is, I don't know how much is their supermarket valued at.
So I couldn't find information on the supermarket, but they do have a bioagriculture division
Maybe
where,
the supermarket has been spun off into a separate company. I don't know, but they
right.
have a bioagriculture division. They have
Yes.
a textile division.
Yeah.
They have a lot of other things.
So there's Toyota Floritech, and then they have Toyota Roof Garden Corporation, residential and commercial air conditioners. They do all of this.
You see, when you look at Japanese companies, you have to look not if they are AAA rated. You don't have to worry about debt.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And if you look at the historical PE ratio, today it's trading at a discount to its historical PE ratio. Historically, it was always trading at about 10 PE. Today it's trading at about 7.5.
So if it goes to 10, you'll get two things. The fact that the earnings go up by 7% over 3 years, you
Yeah.
get 20%. And if it pops up to 10, you get another 25%. So you get
Yes.
45% gain in dollar
In
terms.
this, in this, my final question to you is
Hmm.
if the Bank of Japan, as today, is talking about raising to a positive interest rate, what will
It
happen
is
to Toyota?
positive. Point 0.1 to 0.25 will not hurt it
Okay.
because the you should be looking at the differential between American and Japanese rates.
Okay.
Because Toyota does more than 80% of its business in dollars. In fact, I expect that in November the Fed will pause.
All
If
right.
the Fed pauses, and Japan will not be in a position to increase. So if the gap, I look at the further depreciation of the rupee, of the yen, it's gone back to 153. So why should I worry? I've already made money. You start buying at 125, 130. At 160, you make more money here. I have to worry if it goes to 120 and above.
Okay.
See, the choice before, if I were running Toyota, the choice before me was to whether to raise equity or to raise debt.
Yes.
The answer is clear. The Japanese central bank is printing money and giving it to me for free. Why will I sell my equity? In fact, it makes great sense to borrow more and buy back my equity.
Agreed. You convinced me of your point. And just to sum up for the viewers of what we talked about in today's video, we talked about Toyota's history. This can be read up online. We looked at Toyota's financials. We looked at the liability position of Toyota. Yes, Toyota is leveraged. However, there is a context to this leverage because of the country in which they've raised their leverage. And finally, when it comes to Toyota's future prospects, please be aware that they are in competition with EV manufacturers, and it is we have to see how their battery technology progresses, and we will have to see whether Toyota is going to lose market share in EV or whether it's going to be able to capture a good enough market share in the future. These are the factors. We hope all of you at home have paid attention to this video, and we hope you take a judgment call on your own along with a SEBI registered investment advisor. Anything
A
else?
SEBI, a SEBI registered won't be able to help in this. I hope you get to, if you before buying this, you to talk to somebody in the international market and then decide to buy.
Right.
So thank you for supporting Birich. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did having it with Sashwath. I have a request. We have a Hindi channel called Paisa Boltha Hai. For those who know Hindi or know friends who know Hindi, please pass the word and ask them to take a look at the channel and subscribe to it if they like it. Once again, I thank you for your support for Birich.
Thank you. Hey guys, that my uncles VinodSrinivasan, Anand Srinivasan, and I have rolled out our Substack, which is basically a blog slash newsletter where we're going to post our original research onto it. And we've analyzed macroeconomic trends. And a lot of you know my uncle Anand Srinivasan and I regularly write for The Hindu. And these articles are also going to be made available for you in the Substack. The link is moatinvesting.substack.com. You'll find it in the description and in the video right now. We hope you go check it out. We've put a lot of time and effort into it. And please give us comments and feedback on what you read. Thank you.
It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.